Hey guys, we're going to give everyone a minute to come in. I already see people here, and Twitch does the whole ads thing, which is one of the reasons why I started playing the whole preview beforehand, so that way you're not missing too much. So hello. JC Carpenter's already here, and Sam is here. Hey guys, and Richard's here. How is everybody doing? So we are here. We're doing the next episode of Authortubers React. We have our special guests, Kelli and Shanon. Shannon's here for the first time. Technically, it's kind of second. This is the second episode that she's doing with us, but her first night with us. So thank you for coming. Kelli, it's always a pleasure to have you. We're so glad that you're here. And we're going to go around clockwise and let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Zara this time and clockwise around. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. I am a Authortuber who's mostly just streaming on Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern. I am hoping to go back to doing pop-ups on my Twitch channel again, but I'm adapting to a 50-hour work week that pays overtime. But yeah, and I'm the co-creator of the Writish podcast with Kelli, so she'll probably talk about that in her intro, but over to you, Charliee.
Oh my gosh, I don't like having to go second or first with these things. Yes, my name is Charliee, and I am an Authortuber who posts videos about journaling and writing, and yeah, very small channel, but that's me. So it's Kelli's turn.
Hi, I'm Kelli. I'm a genre-hopping writer, domestic goddess, which is a fancy way of saying I'm a stay-at-home mom and wife. And this mom is going to have to jump off here, though. So this is my sign-off because I think we're going to go for a truck ride to get children to sleep.
Oh,
thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast. I'm sorry I didn't get to do the second half, but I'm sure I'll be on it.
That's okay.
I'm coming, baby.
We'll have you back again, Kelli. It's always a pleasure. Tell the fam we said hey and have a good time.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
And then there were 5.
I know. And that's Shannon's turn.
Now me.
Yes, go ahead, Shanon.
I'm Shanon. I write under the pen name EST Houston. I'm a YA fantasy author. I also have a YouTube channel under the name of EST Houston, where I talk about my self-publishing journey and marketing tips that I've tried and what has worked and what hasn't worked. Self-publishing tips and tricks. And our next show is coming out on the 15th of this month, which is Tuesday. And it will be premiered with the author at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is A.F. Stewart.
I love meeting more YA fantasy writers.
Exciting.
So much fun.
Yeah. Oh, you should read the books. You'd like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Barrett Laurie. On my channel, I do writing vlogs that kind of show my journey to traditional publishing. I write stories about ordinary queer kids living extraordinary lives. I host Critique Group Live every second Thursday of the month. And then also a weekly Authortube-centric chat show on Mondays at 1 p.m. So come hang out with me if any of that sounds like fun to you.
All right.
I love ordinary queer kids living extraordinary
lives.
Yes, I love that too. Yes, more books like that, please.
Right.
And you are here on my channel. I'm neither Vixen of Fiction. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. And I write fiction of the sci-fi, fantasy, historical, and genre hopping, all types. And I love to talk books. And I host this lovely show, Authortubers React. I also host Scripting the Book, and we do usually twice a month. This month we're only doing one because so many things going on this month. So if you like to catch it, it's on YouTube. You can catch Scripting the Book. We're going to be coming up. We've got Dune, and we've got I was going to say Sanderson. We've got season 2 of Bridgerton, which I'm super looking forward to, and we'll be doing some watch parties. Yes. I can't wait. I'm excited.
We also do writer wrap up.
Yes, a wrap up at the end of the month. I do that with Chandra and with Sarah Cahill. We have a great time. So if you ever want to join us, if you ever want to join me for any of these things, you're more than welcome. Jump into my DMs on Instagram or message me over on YouTube, and
She's the Vixen of Fiction on Instagram because
The
someone
Vixen of
took
Fiction.
the username that she has everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait,
And they
really?
had some really pretty art stuff, and then they just stopped using it. I'm like,
Oh, they haven't used it? You should reach out and see if they'd sell it for a small fee.
but do I want to buy it?
I don't know.
All right,
I
kinda
would.
do.
But
I mean, it
Is
would.
that one more thing?
No, yeah, that's not necessary. Oh,
Yeah,
look
but
at
then
this.
you'd be
Starting off with-
consistent
starting
all
off with
over.
Oh my gosh, here we go with the unpopular.
I was gonna say, of course you did.
I've never read or watched Dune.
Really?
I haven't read it or watched it.
haven't
I heard a
watched
lot
it.
of people
I've read
loved it, but I didn't get around to seeing it. I do need to see the Batman because
me too.
everyone at my work is talking about it.
Same.
So
Wait, there's a new
Yes.
Batman?
I've
Yeah.
heard it's good.
yeah,
Oh.
I heard it's good. For people
I
who
have a
don't
feeling it
know,
will be.
the literary agency that I'm an intern not wow, I'm so used to saying intern. No, I'm a
You're
paid
hired.
employee. I'm an assistant. With very good employee benefits. It's actually connected to a talent agency that mostly operates in LA. So screenwriters and directors and
Oh, cool.
actors. Yeah, so
Yeah, cool.
everyone was talking about the Batman, and I was like, I need to see it.
Yeah, Dune sounds like a book that you have to read when you're not reading textbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
I
cool.
read Dune a long time ago, and I think
Same.
I liked it the first time I read it. The second time when I tried to read it, I kept forgetting that I was reading. It felt like it was harder to get through. I don't know if it's just one of those that you don't reread unless you're like really hardcore, like fandom type, you know, obsessed with it. But I remember I read it the first time and I thought, oh, this is great. I really enjoyed it. It was years ago though.
Same.
And also I'm reading so many different things. And fantasy has come so far, and that dystopian has come so far that I think it was more unique when I first read it. And now that it's not, now that there's other things, I don't know if I'm as interested. So I have some theories on why the first time I read Dune, it was like, woohoo. And the second time I read it was like, okay. And then,
Context.
Yeah.
and then the movie, like my kids loved the movie. And I'm like,
Oh,
interesting.
Ricky watched and loved. So,
Yeah.
Talking about
Did Ricky read the book? Just curious.
No,
did Ricky?
no, he did
he
not.
didn't read the book.
You just
My
watched the
kids
movie.
didn't
I
read
read the book. I
either.
did not watch the movie.
So are you guys going to be
Interesting.
talking about the newest movie or both movies?
there's
I've
more
seen
than
both.
one?
Well, the
Yes,
newest one's
there's
the
an
one I
old
know.
one.
Oh, I didn't even know there was an old one.
I knew
Yes.
that there was an old one, but I was like, I'm never going to watch that because I haven't even read the book.
I imagine that's even more. Yeah. Okay.
And we're looking for someone to join us. So if you want to join us, Shannon, for
Okay, yeah.
Dune, let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
Yep. I know lots about it.
I will hit you up with the
Oh.
date and time.
Are you
Um,
doing this,
Van
when
and
are you
Dune
doing it
then?
this month, or when are you doing
It's
it?
going to be in April. So we're
Oh, okay.
we only did one this month. We did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So next month we're doing Dune at the beginning, I think the 10th maybe, and then towards the end of the month to give everybody time to watch all of Bridgerton. We're doing
wait.
that
8 hours.
Wait, did the new season already come out?
The 25th.
the 25th.
Okay. 'cause
They like
been
2
waiting
days
for-
ago they came out with the
The new
no, I
trailer.
was in the office, so on Wednesday.
Okay.
On Wednesday they came out with the official trailer for season 2. And I was messaging Nia because she's like, "Did you see it?" I was like, "Yes, I did. Thank God that the trailer is better than the teaser trailer because I hated
Yes.
the teaser trailer."
Yeah, it was not good.
It was not it.
I'm texting my friend who I watched Bridgerton with to remind her that we have a series to continue watching.
I love when you do that. When you're like, by the way, we have a date.
And
You should
do
do
this
Netflix Watch Party. Or what
This
did they
kinda
rename
feels
it to?
cool.
Oh, Teleparty. It used to be called Netflix Watch Party, but it's on Chrome.
Mhm.
That way you can like chat while
Yeah. That's what we do. Yeah. Or we FaceTime and watch at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. Hi,
I
Eva.
totally forgot about the Dune series, but I watched that too. That Mama Maggie just
Yes,
brought up.
this was good.
There was
Yeah.
a Dune series?
Yes,
Yes.
very short.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I missed a lot then. I just knew about the new one. So,
Interesting.
I was
Yeah.
briefly dating someone who was obsessed with the series, so I know all about all the things. I just haven't consumed any of it.
I was obsessed
So
with
you
seeing
probably
from
had
the
like
first
a
movie.
play-by-play, Zara.
I'm excited for this one that we're going to do on Zoom because I think this is the first one that we're doing where there's really mixed opinions about it because everything else we did, everybody's like, I love this. And so this is the first one where it's like, did I though?
Interesting.
And some people are like, just no, it's not it. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
I'll watch your thing probably on replay, but I need to watch Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. I'm actually, I don't think I've watched any. They've all been sitting on my to watch list, and then
Really?
I just like fell behind. So I also need to watch the Hunger Games one, and you had something else.
What's funny is I caught the watch party. I still have the actual episode, I think, in my, because I was there for when you were on Natalie's watching. Was it on Natalie's, I think?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there for that, but I had to watch later. Because again, with the house hunting thing, I don't have time for the YouTubes as much as I used to.
That's me. I told myself I was going to listen to listen to YouTube in the car, listen to it. And I ended up not, because the kid was calling me about, can we go see this house and can we go see that house? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get to listen to anything.
Okay. So I do have your playlist on watch playlist as well, Nia. I'm sorry, fake fan over here. No, I'm kidding. I have been school and stuff like that. But you know what? I also realized that when it comes to shows and TV shows and books and musicals, I will watch the musical, the theater play, and watch the movie and TV show all before reading the book.
Really?
I have never picked up any of Lewis Carroll's books, but I've watched the plays, the movies, the VCRs, everything.
The only time that I watched an adaptation before reading something was Shadow and Bone, and that was because Angela Ann was like, if you haven't read it at this point, you might as well just wait, be able to enjoy the show without any comparisons.
Right.
And comparison is the thief of joy and all that. And then you can read the book, because the book is just going to obviously be there. So I did that, and it was the right call. But everything else that's been adapted that I'm interested in, it's like I've already read it by the time that they're announcing it's being adapted. So I haven't fallen into the, this is getting adapted, do I want to read it first conundrum.
That's me. But most of the time when I read things and there's like a TV show out, I won't watch the TV show. I'm just not interested.
I didn't read Bridgerton first. I watched the first season and then I was curious and went back and read all the first 4. And I can't wait. I'm gonna read the next 4 probably.
Well, what's hilarious is that I had read the Bridgerton books, the ones that were out, because I think 2 came out last year or something. So I haven't read those. But I had read the first 5, maybe. I don't think maybe the last 3 that are currently out weren't out when I was reading them. But I read them, and then my mom had watched Bridgerton before me. I didn't know it existed first, and then she's like, I'm obsessed with this show. And she's describing the plot, and I'm like, I've read this, and she's like, really? And she's like, and it's based on the book, The Duke and I. And I was like, yeah, I definitely read this. And she's like, when? And I was like, probably when I was supposed to be sleeping. I don't know, but
Please tell me we're going to talk about what they're chatting about. The Eva's comment.
The anti-Authortube channels lately.
What is this? Are these the ones that do the Authortube's dead stuff? Is that what you mean by this? Is this what you mean by this? I'm just curious. She said I already forgot. LOL. I meant this comment.
I think some of those are those who say that those who are on Authortube are terrible authors.
Oh, I got it.
There's Authortube channels that are anti-Authortube.
Yes.
Yeah, Authortube is dead, or Authortubers can't write.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Those.
Got it. Okay. Because I had one of those served up to me, or I thought it was one of those, and then I watched it, and then it wasn't that. The person was saying they had a bad experience with 1 or 2, and then overall, it was something about toxic. It was like, is Authortube toxic? I just got this last week from someone I'd never seen before. And I watched the video, and it was one little sliver about the toxic thing where it was a few people were kind of bad. And the rest
was it 30 seconds? Was it 30 seconds? Or was
it was short. It was very short. No. It was a 4-minute video, 6-minute video, something like that.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering because it only takes 30 seconds to register as a video is being watched.
Oh, I wonder. I don't know.
So I haven't read anything by I Write Early, but I feel like I Write Early and Jenna Moresi are the ones who are being targeted. But I've read Kate's stuff that she has posted, and I like it. So
yeah, I mean, listen, there's always going to be somebody who's going to have something negative to say about somebody's work, period.
Yep.
And as far as the stuff on iWriterly, I know all the stuff people say. My feeling on that is, for crying out loud, you've run her off YouTube. So
Yeah,
at one point, let it go.
Yeah, I do kind of feel bad. I mean,
and move on. Like
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know.
Well, there was her book
was
came out and
bad.
people just ripped it to shreds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad, which is again
Basically, the blurb didn't capture what the book was actually about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
sold as I watched her talk about the writing. She was like, selling it as a space opera. And I did read the first 6 chapters before I was done. And it was not that. It was definitely
Okay, that's weird.
very sexual, romance-y, different, that might have had some sci-fi elements to it. But it was definitely not what it was sold as. And I think, but bigger than that, there was rumors on the boards, we all know which ones we're talking about, that were saying that she exaggerated her experience at an agency, right?
Yeah.
So
She's-
for you,
Yeah,
Zara,
she was
for
one of the
example,
ones who would say, I worked for an agency.
right, but was very vague about with what. Did she ever have clients? What did she do? So you know what I'm saying? Like you're
Whereas I'm totally transparent and I'm
Exactly.
like, I've had internships at 2
Yes.
where I was doing all this reading and
Yes.
now I'm an assistant.
Yes. Oh, the paid
Yeah.
for reviews. That's right.
Yeah,
More-
there was the
paid
question
for
about
reviews.
the paying for the reviews. Like, where did
Yes.
all these reviews? And I think she said she didn't pay for them, but it could be that fans came in, because people love her channel. So
Yep.
when she was getting a lot of negativity, somewhere came along a bunch of positives.
Yep.
Like just high 4s and 5s and lots of positive comments. So
Which looks
she's
sus
And-
when
but she's
other
very
authors are supporting
popular,
her
so
as
it
well.
could have just been
Right.
and it could have just been her fans going to flood it, to counter. So
That's
I don't
true,
know what it was, but yeah, they basically ran her off of Authortube, and I think that's sad. I don't,
Oh,
because we
wow.
don't know what's really going on. So
Yeah. Well,
That's awful.
if I ever had a one-on-one with her, and not that would ever happen, but if I did, I would have just said, don't let anybody, you worked hard to build that platform, independent of what people think or not. You still have 80,000 people following you or whatever it is. At the very least, I'd say come back and face it head on, and then move on. Because really, if
I think
you face any controversy, if you face it head on with some bit of a humble way about you, it's really hard for people to continue to dig at you and attack you. If you say, maybe I did some things wrong and I'm sorry, and hey, let's right this ship. What are they going to say? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
I like the banner.
I know, right?
I saw that go up and I was like,
I know. I'm like, well,
That's what we do. Oh, Richard, I did want to say, if you want to watch Dune, try to watch Dune. Ben is going to do a watch party, I think, next Saturday on his channel. But if you click on any of the scripting the books, Ben is linked. Ben running to write, so you can click on there and find out exactly what time the watch party is. I'm going to try to join. Depends on if a house is bought, and I'm not still house hunting. I will try.
I wish you both luck.
no,
Yes.
thanks. We need
Oh
it.
my
May the
God.
odds be ever in our favor.
I know. This is and normally I love house hunting. Like it's
Same.
my jam. I just
Same.
don't like it in this market when it's
pressure.
young people. When it's young people trying to buy a house, because I just feel very nervous and anxious for them, and I just want them to get the best deal that they can get in a very bad market for buyers, which is hard. So it just makes it it's a little stressful. But that's going to be exciting no matter what, because they're going to get a new home, so it's going to be great. And I'm going to think of the positive.
That's right. Hang in.
The new home's going to be wonderful, Barrett.
So I hope so. Fingers crossed. Eva wants to know, what are our topics and how juicy are we getting tonight?
The first thing we're going to talk about after this, we're going to talk about our bookish pet peeves. So if you guys have any bookish pet peeves, anything about books themselves or the writing of the books, anything about books that you are like, that gets on my nerves, and I've got a few that bug me about books.
This
As
might
of
come as
late-
a surprise, but I actually hate books and writing and anything that has to do with storytelling. I know it's
Nobody believes you, Charlie. But the first thing we're going to talk about, though, is the Brandon Sanderson effect. If you guys were not
sorry,
on
Sam in the
YouTube,
chat. That's exactly what I was going to say.
YouTube, Twitch, just all over the place. Everybody was talking about Brandon Sanderson. He came out with this video and he says, I've been lying to you guys and I'm going to come clean. And people were worried at first. Like,
by the way, that is brilliant clickbait.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes,
clickbait.
it was.
Just so we're clear. Like, that is.
People were worried.
He knew
I was
what he
worried.
doing.
Okay, so I am a Brandon Sanderson fan. I'm going to say that up front. Do I think he's the absolute best writer ever? No, but he writes good, thick stories. He does things that I like. I like a good, thick story that's very expansive, a world I can delve into. And then all of the other books kind of like tie off of this world that he's created. I like that. So, and that's one of the things that he's done. That's why he makes my faves list. And he's also seems to be a genuinely nice guy. I knew of his books, so I read his books and I'm like, oh, I like this, the way that he writes. And then I found his classes online and I was like, what? They're for free?
Right.
Yes.
His actual university classes. So that's when I really became. So I'm gonna say I come at this with that bias, just so that you know. I'm up front, like you can't see. So I'm just going to be honest. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. He doesn't do tons of prose. You know, his description to me is perfect. It's spot on. You know, it's the kind of description I need. He tells me exactly what's going on. He describes it in a way that I can picture it in my head. I'm like, this is perfect. But if you like really purpley prose and, you know, just maybe you're going to think that it's a little mainstream. We were talking about Squeakcore, but the Squeakcore people like him, so I don't know.
Who knows?
Oh, did they really? He was.
I thought they really liked him, and
they don't like mainstream, but he's okay. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but Jemison, maybe not. I'm like,
okay.
Make that make sense.
Maybe there's something a little bit more at work here.
Like, what is happening there? What about these two?
There might be some confounding factors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not one to prejudge.
So
27.9 million.
I was about to ask.
It's at 27.9
million.
Oh wait, I thought it was. Whoa, wait! I thought it was like even more than that. I thought it was like 35 million.
I mean, he'll get there. Let's give him time. It's only been a week or two. Like,
I mean, his goal was 1 million, and he hit like 20. Yep. He hit 22 mil in like 2 or 3 days or something, and then the last time I checked, it was 26. But clearly, it's gone up.
And I haven't even done my order yet. So
what
I haven't ordered. I don't know.
And what I was waiting for is I wanted, because I'm not a big merch person, but I wanted to find out what the books were going to be like before I, so I could decide what I wanted. Because here's the thing: the ebooks and the audiobooks are incredible. The price is incredible. If you can't afford the merch and the shipping, or the books and the shipping, then you can still get this. You can still get the ebooks and the audiobooks for a reasonable price. It's everything after that where but I was waiting because I'm like, what are these books going to be like? And apparently the books are going to be nice. And so that's more what I want. I want the books, not the merch.
So so quickly, because I know not everyone knows what the Kickstarter is. It's basically, he was like, I wrote 1 book. Wait, no, but I also wrote 4 more. Yeah. And so the Kickstarter is him releasing these books with the accompaniment of some merch for a price.
Yeah.
It's essentially a pre-order, right?
Yeah.
It's
totally a pre-order. It's not outrageous.
The only thing is one of the best of all time. Like at some point we have to get into the territory of like, how many is he selling of this? Because it's gotta be a big one.
Yeah. So I do want to start with go back to the way that he introduced this. It was a lot of fun. Like, take some pointers from this. If nothing else, it was fun. He comes out with this short little video. I have an announcement to make. I've been lying to you. Something is going to, and everybody's like, what's going on? So automatically we're curious. We're drawn in. Then he comes out with this video and he starts it. Well, he does have to come out and tell people that he's fine because people were worried. So he said, no, I'm fine. So then everybody's like, okay, he's fine. What's he up to? Now that we know he's fine. So he does this video, and the video is a lot of fun. And he starts out really serious, and then he goes into professor mode. So if you're one of the people who likes the videos that he does from BYU where he's teaching, he takes off his sweater or something, and he puts on his professor jacket that he always wears when he teaches. So the whole production of it, you can tell he's a showman. And the whole production of the intro to the Kickstarter is just a lot of fun. So for those of us who are indie marketing, we can take some pointers from like, that was really neat the way that he did that. It worked. But then he comes at, so I did a thing, and he goes, I wrote a book, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. So during the pandemic, he wrote a book. Wow. And then as he's going on, he goes, and not only that, but I wrote, and he pulled out the stack. He wrote 4 books.
One novella.
It's amazing that you can do that. But I guess people process differently because I've hardly been able to write anything that's coherent during all of this. You know, I'm like, my writing has become a mess. So people process stress differently. And he said that's how he processes stress. So we have this Kickstarter. So what did you guys think of how that all came about?
Then he also went into pathos and started talking about why he wrote each one, for who he wrote each one, even though he didn't explain what the books were actually about.
Yeah. And he saved that for future videos.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Tease it.
Yep.
I mean, what I think there are 2 big takeaways from it, just from the outside. And Richard brought this up in the CGL chat. And so that there were folks talking about it and saying similar things to what I'm about to say. Number one, the marketing thing. Yes, brilliant. And I think it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a huge audience to do what he did with the title, with the content of the video, as far as how he teased out what he was really doing. And it was all about just creating the element of mystery and intrigue and a question that I, as the viewer, had to click on the video to get the answer to. And so that part is replicable and something any of us can do with the right vehicle. Now you have to deliver, right? If he would have done, I have something to tell you, and then it would have been like, I'm teaching classes at BYU, we all would have been like, and so, you know what I'm saying? It had to deliver on like the thing. But I think that's the thing. Number 2 is the amount of money people are willing to pay for a premium product. And as I think as self-published authors, if I could control my price, I'd be looking at the Sanderson thing and thinking to myself, I want to make sure I price myself in a way so that 10 books from now or 2 or 3 series from now, when I've built up enough of a readership, I could do something like this where I say I'm doing a specialty release of some sort. I'm thinking of, and I always mess up her name, Shanon will know it and say it right. Bethany Atazuda? No.
Atazada.
Yeah.
Atazada. Okay, somebody's going to get it right. That, her. Did the whole video on her specialty release, but same concept essentially, right? Charging folks a premium to get it, and more of them through her, because she even talked about I sold some of these through me, and then here. So that's all I was taking away from it, was like on a smaller scale, how do we apply it to our businesses, and how do we make sure we take some of those ideas that he's done brilliantly here and apply them to our own selves. That's it. That's all I got. Somebody else.
Yeah.
Cody apparently is also doing Kickstarter, so go check that out. I love her channel.
Oh, sweet. I do too.
And here's the thing about the Kickstarter, because someone was saying, is this gonna, this is a game changer for like indie authors and everything. And I'm like, not so fast. Brandon Sanderson has a massive fan base. He's got followers.
Yeah, he tapped into what already exists.
Yeah.
So he's got people. That's one. He's already got this massive fan base. Number 2, because he does write a lot of books and he does write fast, and these ones are basically already finished. If you've read his books, if you like them or not. He's going to deliver. People who don't know you, if you're not well known, they don't know who you are, that you're going to be able to deliver on a Kickstarter.
Right.
And so a lot of Kickstarters fail for this reason. They don't make enough money because not enough people know them or are willing to, invest. And sometimes if you don't deliver, say that the Kickstarter is made and then you don't deliver, you're on the hook. You gotta pay these people their money. So it works for him because people know he can deliver and the quality. And the price for because if you are interested and you go and you look up the price, you're like, oh, that seems like a lot. He doesn't give regular books. These books are like collectible editions of books. The covers are spectacular, and then he starts telling you what you're going to get. And because the Kickstarter made so much more money with publishing, what happens is when you publish a book, let's see, I'm going to see if I can get Shanon back. All right. So when you publish a book, you know, so many books cost so much. Anything over that, the price that you pay as the person trying to get your book published goes down. So now that it's gone, I guess that they were thinking $1 million. Some people thought it might be 5 million at the most. It's gone way beyond that. So what he's doing now is that he's going to make the books better and give you more stuff on the inside. And if you've seen the type of books that he's talking about, and he's displayed what he's talking about, he's going to just, because he basically says, I have all this extra money to spend, I'm going to put this extra stuff, more color pages, color prints, images. So, you know, again, you believe that he's going to deliver on this. But if people don't know me, if I tried to do a Kickstarter like this, it would make maybe $50. I'd get Barrett. And a couple of my other Authortube friends. Nobody knows me. They don't know that I can pull this off. So
there's a website called Pub Slush, and it's like Kickstarter, but only for books. And it's like, they reached out to me forever ago, and they were like, "Oh, put your book up on here." And I was like, "No, I don't think so." And it's just, yeah, if you're unknown, the reason it worked for him is that he's a reputable brand. Like, granted, he's a person, you know, but like in terms of being an author and producing books, he's a brand the same way James Patterson is, and
Nora
Stephen
Roberts,
King's, Nora Roberts, like all these people. That's why he could do it. If a nobody does it without any audience, and they're trying to build the audience through that, good luck. Like, I was in the Authortube community for like half a year-ish before I like really started putting stuff into my Ko-fi page, and you know, people were willing to support me because I had really made connections. But there's no way I'm able to like raise what he did. I raised like $3,000 over 6 months. That's, you know, which is great for me because it's what I wanted, and it, you know, but it's like, that's because I wasn't starting from scratch either.
Right.
But you need a platform for this work. You can't use it to build your platform when it comes to like a book versus like a gadget where people are like, oh, like this could actually make my life easier.
Right. Well, and it'd be the same if anyone super famous with any large platform said, I'm going to do X. You know, if I'm trying to think of an actor who'd say, I'm going to self-fund this film project I want to do. The actor who's done like 4 episodes of a CW show 3 years ago is not going to raise the same amount of money as Jason Momoa, or you know what I'm saying? Like, those two things are not going to come out the same. So on lots of different levels, I'm sure. But
I'm trying to read through all these comments. There were like, I suddenly looked up and there were like 40 some comments. I'm like, oh.
I know.
I've been seeing them come through, but I haven't like been reading them.
I haven't been processing thought for some time.
Yeah.
It's been a day for all of us, apparently.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm in it for the books. And part of me is like, do I really want the merch too? But I'm like, I know I'm not a big merch person. It would sit in a box. But my books, I know I would put them, especially with the quality that they're talking about. I know I'll put them on the shelves. But yeah, I don't want, my fear is that there will be people out there that thinks that this is the way to go. And just 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 go the regular self-publish route. And I think it's a little risky to overpromise something if you haven't done it before.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so Maggie is saying if Ryan Reynolds did it, it would be funded in the first week. It would probably be funded like within the first day.
I was gonna say Ricky and I could get him there quickly.
Because I almost said Brando Sando, which is Kate's nickname for him, from her video on him, Brandon Sanderson. You know, he surpassed it in he surpassed his 1 million goal, I think, like on the second day, if not, you know, and I think like 5 days in, he was already at like 26 million or something. So he also did it like.
And there's 16 days left or 9 days left or something like that.
I think at this point it's 9 days left.
But that's still a lot.
Yeah, no. But I think when Mia messaged us the topics for today, it was 16 days left.
Yeah.
Or something, but yeah. Regina wants merch from us.
Ask, believe, receive.
I mean, I have a design for a t-shirt, but I'm like, who would actually wear this? So I don't know if like merch is like, you know.
My daughter wants a Loki mug, and she's like, I bet other people would want one too. I'm like,
you know what? I have
I have a hard time feeling like people would want merch, but I know people do it. So
people want merch for the podcast. Like I promised a color changing mug. And everyone's like, we want it before Christmas. And Kelly's like, you're in grad school. We have to wait until later. And I'm like, but they want it now. We could be making money. She's still making me wait until after I graduate grad school.
Yeah, because he's got to still be making some money. I don't think that they thought it was going to be this
100%. He's still making some.
Yeah,
he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Like
it's
like holy. I sometimes I wonder.
Dude is fine. He like if you go to the Tor like website, it like has like famous authors or whatever, and he's like number 2, if not number 1. The last time I checked, it's like he's fine. He's got
I wonder
series, like, he gets royalties from all of those. They like.
Don't you feel like his publishers are just sitting there right now watching this thing, going, "Oh man." Like, I really wish.
That's what I'm thinking. How does Tor feel about this? Like this, Brandon, you didn't want to.
They're probably not happy. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's no conceivable way that I can think of him pitching this to them and then being okay with him taking it to Kickstarter and like just doing it himself. Because if it's connected to the world that he's created and then been published through Tor. Like, yes, it is all his intellectual property, so he has the right to do this, but they would not have been like.
I would imagine there's been a lawsuit for sure, right?
Yeah. He gets a lot of leeway, and he said that there's a lot of things that he's been able to do that other
that's
smaller
true.
authors wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah,
so
but like
but I'm sure that they would have loved to have had this if they could.
No, of course they would have wanted it.
He wants all 4 of them out in a year. And I don't think that they would have.
They would not.
They wouldn't have done that.
They wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
No, but I wonder. Like, I wonder what was in his last contract, because a lot of times with an established author or a repeat author who's at a house for a long time, they'll be like, we're optioning your next few books. And if we reject it, then you can do other stuff with it. So if that was in his last thing and he's like, surprise, I wrote these like 4 books and a novella and I'm not giving it to you, even though you optioned it, like that's a breach of contract.
Yeah. And no, these were all that nobody was expecting him to write it. Nobody asked him to write it. This was all just stuff that he just did. So he's like, I know he knows his contracts and he's got his.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he wouldn't have like done
he's got
something.
Dragon Steel, so I know that he knows what he's allowed to do, and I'm sure that I know that he's perfectly fine, but I know that Tor's got to be like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Hey, well, I guess we'll find out what they think about it if the lawsuit actually does happen a lot later on, or maybe soon.
Eva made a comment a while ago, something about it's about fame. The whole thing, and that our topic kind of talks about that, and I do think there's something to that like it's that when you see the 27 million,
I see a fame comment right now. That was.
Is it a repeat?
See, I don't get what
Let me.
Even
I
I'm
saw it a
inspired.
minute ago. I thought I popped it up. But
I see the
Because-
fame comment like almost at the bottom.
No, it's
Yeah.
up here. Some authors only want the fame, and it shows in this topic specifically. That was the one I saw.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I popped it up for a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then
But-
there's another
Because I
comment.
knew it was going to be hard to find because of all the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
comments.
There's
Yeah.
another comment where Eva says he's just a writer. The fame is what confuses those who aren't writers. So that's why I thought you were.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's like kind of from both ends. People
Right.
aren't understanding how big a role the fame.
Mhm.
Plays.
Because
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
people have said that they're almost like jumping on the bandwagon. Like, I know I'm gonna like his books. I like the way he writes. So for me, for getting the books, I just want the books because I would want the books anyway, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. I would trust that he's gonna write stuff that I enjoy. But that there are people who are just like jumping on the like, I want to be a part of this, and I don't know if they're joking or not, but they said, I've never read one of his books, but I want in. And it's like, you don't know if you're going to like this. You know?
But
And
like
it's
they
kind of
want to be able
cool.
to say that they
Yeah.
have this special thing.
Yes.
But like there are like there are times when there's a tech thing on Kickstarter or Indiegogo which is where I go more often because it gives the creators the option to have flexible funding where even if they don't deliver, they get the money that they've raised, which like sucks for the person who's supporting, but like whatever. But in like if there's something that's techy and really cool and they're offering a huge discount, if you're a supporter of their Kickstarter, then I'm normally like, okay, I want to do it now. But if something like if they're saying that it's going to cost this much once we make it, I'm like, I don't need to get it at the ground floor. Like, I'm okay with that.
See, I don't get how this is the result of wanting fame. Because you have to have a platform.
He has fame.
Yeah,
and
he has
and he's using it, but
Yeah.
people want to be like him.
Right.
And get famous for having a Kickstarter that like blows up.
Or
yeah,
they
but your
see,
Kickstarter is not going to blow up if nobody knows about you.
right, but I
Right.
think there's a lot of people who don't have the cognitive dissonance within themselves to sit there and think through like, well, if I do a Kickstarter, it'll get 27 million. There are people out there. We see them on YouTube often. They come and go. You know, well, I'll have a channel that blows up in 4 months. No, you won't.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, I mean, maybe it happens to very few, but the vast majority we can all look at and go, no, you won't. Sit right back down. But it's the same concept, right? And it's seeing the thing. And the other thing is how easy it'll be. You know, oh, well, if he can write 4 books in a year, I can write 4 books in a year. No, you can't. Sit all the way down.
It's like I wrote 3 and I thought I could maybe finish a draft of the 4th last year.
Right. Well, and even
he's writing books that are like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, he writes bigger books than I do.
Exactly. But I was just meaning with Eva's point about it's not writers who are seeing that and going, well, I could write a book. Well, you know what? I could write 4 books. It's like, no, you can't. Yeah. You can't just pick that up and be like, oh, I'm just going to do that. Like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that comes with experience too, that he can write as much as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He has it down pat. Like
Yeah.
I only just figured out my system, but then life got in the way. So like I can't devote as much time to it as I did before. So I need a new system.
Yeah. And Eva, this is totally legit. People want to be part of this history making thing. And there are other people who just love books who are like, if this is going to be this historical event, I want those books on my shelves. There are people who that's what they want, you know, so it's totally legit. And it's working for him because it's at what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
27.9.
Your children would be set for life in the Random House, whatever you see force near.
When you said Random House, I was like, the publishing house? Like, I was like,
no. I mean, she all she has to do is walk up to a random house and then buy it out.
And Eva's right about anybody doing content is fame is market. Yes, to all of those things. Any of us sitting up here right now are not opposed to fame. I think it's just the idea of being naive enough to think that just happens without.
I mean, I'm kind of opposed to fame. For myself. Like, I would be so happy for my friends, anyone on screen, anyone who I've ever streamed with, any of the people who like I see multiple times in chats and things like that. Like if you all got famous for your writing, I'd be so proud and so happy for you. But like, I would be miserable if I got to the level of famous that like people respect.
Would you really?
Yeah.
I'd probably be a little.
I'd be uncomfortable.
I mean, I could
so-
see me being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
want
could
people
just
to buy
write
my
books and
books.
sell them and no one ever know who I was or that I wrote them. I would love that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to get
I don't even want to
monetized on
market
YouTube.
myself. I'm just like,
I want to get monetized on YouTube so that when I make videos, they can make me some money. So it's not like just throwing time into like a black hole that like I'm not getting any return from. Obviously, I've gotten a community, so there is return. But it's like I don't want to be famous where it's, you know, I'm doing something completely random and they're like, oh my God, that's you. And I would be like,
got it.
I want to be monetized, but I don't want anyone I know to know that I'm monetized, which is kind of
but then they'd ask you for money or something.
That is
struggle.
That's my struggle. That's my struggle right now. Because someone the other day who I haven't seen in 3 years, I met up with them and they were like, "Oh yeah, because you're doing YouTube," and I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh," and then I had like a really big mini meltdown right there in a span of 2 minutes before I responded. But yeah.
See, I find that the most fascinating when people are like, you know, I do YouTube, but I don't want people to know. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, anybody I meet, I'm like, oh, have you heard about my YouTube channel? By the way, I'm trying to write a book. Like, that is not going to be my issue. I have no problem. Give me.
I love your confidence.
I don't throw
you need
out,
to give it to some of us.
Yeah.
I don't throw out my YouTube channel to everyone, but if someone asks me about it, like I'm fine talking about it. And then I don't. In my publishing program, I didn't really talk about the fact that I've self-published books because I was like, I don't want them to fail me. But you know, beyond that, like I am happy to talk to people about my books. What freaks me out is when they're like, "Oh, I bought your book. I'm going to read it." I was like, "Don't tell me that. Now I'm thinking about you reading it. Tell me that you liked it after you've read it, or don't tell me that you ever read it."
I liked it.
Yeah, my kids' friends want to see the Loki videos, and I'm just like, oh, tell them not to share it. And they're like, okay, so they all know, don't share this. So I'm just like, please, no, do not want.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just want to write books. I think Alexa Dunn had talked about that a bit. It's difficult in today's market now to be a completely anonymous writer, to just because so much of it is this. We've got to be on the social media, whether it's Twitch or Twitter or YouTube, especially Twitter. And, you know, and so she's made YouTube her platform because that's where she's comfortable.
But I will say Jessie Elliott's like pen name really doing well. Like she's only shared it with like close friends. So like I know what it is. But like in general, like she's running that as if it were its own person. And I haven't published anything under my pen name, but like that has a following and stuff. So like it is possible, but it is a lot harder. I do agree with that.
And Kate's done it too, right? Isn't Kate?
Yeah, she has her romance pen name.
So,
You're probably never gonna learn.
You can do it, but that's hilarious, Ashley. I'm dying. My mom says stuff like that to me all the time. She's like, why do you have bags under your eyes? You should not wear glasses. It accentuates the bags under your eyes. I'm like, do you have nothing? When do you retire? I need to get off YouTube before you retire.
I've made videos and my mom is subscribed to me, but like she doesn't always click on them. So sometimes she just completely misses a video. So I assume she misses all my videos. And then like she'll be like, oh, that was a good video. And I'm like, all right. Mm-hmm. You can watch my stuff.
Yeah, it's super interesting when things that I've learned here on YouTube actually help me in
real life.
I'm like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
I know how to do this because I do YouTube.
You know what? Also, just saying, I learned this the other day, that apparently bags in some countries are considered a strategic way to make your eyes look bigger. So you're a fashionista.
I was going to say, then I've been ahead of the curve for at least a decade.
You have, yes. Exactly.
You guys, poor Shanon keeps apologizing to us, and we're like, we get it.
Yes.
Like,
your internet is
like Storm in X-Men. Like, I don't expect you to be able to shut down the weather. We're good.
Yeah, so I mentioned this before we did the other episode, but Shanon is having weather issues, so if her internet goes in and out, that's what it is, and it's okay. We're just glad that she's able to join us, and
Yes.
we'll definitely have to have you back again another time, Shanon. I'm sorry
it's fine.
this keeps happening to you, Shanon.
It happens.
It does. Don't even worry about it. Like I've had a storm knock me out of my own off my own thing one time. I'm like, oh, I'll just hop back in here. I've also exited myself off.
I
I've
did
done that
that
too.
before.
And it keeps playing. It keeps
It
going.
does.
Like, it doesn't
Oh, really?
stop. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh
there
my
was one day where I was trying to close a bunch of things and my computer froze, so it closed the wrong thing. It thought I was trying to close the, my browser, and I closed it, and then I had to open it on my phone because my computer was like just frozen, and I saw everyone being like, okay, well, we took over, it's our stream now.
That's funny. No, I think one of the first times I ever live streamed, it was on a Worldwide Write-a-thon one. And I was a guest host, and my internet just kept on kicking me out. So I tried every device I had to log back in, and I felt so bad because I'd enter and they'd be like, introduce yourself. And I'd be like, what? Okay. I halfway introduced myself and I get kicked back out.
Oh my gosh.
It was so bad, but yeah.
You made it through.
Yeah.
And at least we can hear what Shanon is saying, so
That's right.
that's good.
You're back.
Yeah.
And you're clear.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think this is the clearest I've seen you all night.
The storm has passed.
I must have.
Yep. All right. So you guys in the chat, if you guys want to go ahead and let us know what some of your bookish pet peeves are.
What are ours?
I know one of mine. You guys can just call out any if you
I
have
saw
any.
one of mine
or
in
if you
chat,
think
which
of
is stickers on the front page of the book.
Oh my gosh, that's
Or the
number
front
one
cover
for
of the
me.
book. Oh, I
That's
hate
literally my number one.
Hate that.
Stickers on the books, as seen on or book club. I'm like,
And yes, Ricky and I
Put
have
that on
done
the
this-
title page.
We have done
Yes!
the theming. Like
Like,
we
You
do.
have
Yeah.
all the space above the title on the title page where it's title of a series, if it is, by blank, and then publishing house information.
Right.
You have space on top where you can add like a little thing that says like now a motion picture, book club pick, whatever.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm flexible on that. If the book is a movie cover book, then I don't mind because I don't really care much for the movie cover of the book. But if it is like, a hardback, solid, the original cover of the
Original
book,
cover.
I don't want that to be changed.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
I
they'll,
know
like, the thing
some
is that
stickers
they'll
you can
just
peel them
slap it
off,
on
just-
that, and you can't get the version that was the original without promoting the fact that it's been adapted. And it's like, no. And the only time that I liked a movie cover was Shadow and Bone, just because I was so excited and I loved the costume and everything. But in general, if I see I have to deal with the sticker because I don't want the movie cover, and it's just like.
I feel like
Someone said now
Nowadays.
motion picture on Netflix is a lie. It isn't to Hollywood because of the budget, but it should just say now a Netflix film
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Netflix calls it on their website. They say it's a Netflix film.
Oh yeah.
How
I
about
mean,
when-
it's I don't mind if it's so bad. Sometimes the book club stickers you can kind of peel them off, but when they're printed onto,
Yeah,
the
no,
cover,
I
you
hate
leave
when
them
they're
printed,
on.
no.
But even the
Right.
stickers, it's like
they
sometimes
might
you're
mess up my
lucky-
book.
Sometimes you're lucky, and other times it ruins it.
Yeah, it's like that's not coming off clean.
as someone who has studied altering books for journals, I feel like I have desensitized myself to a lot of the bookish peeves.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I'm going to say I didn't write this one down, but one of my, because I like when I get a book, I want it to go on my shelf. So I don't like them to get messed up. So I don't understand things like breaking the spines and bending the pages. Like, what are you doing?
I only do that for a
No.
notebook.
No, I don't even do that with a notebook. Oh my gosh, the poor notebook.
I know.
Okay, so I
It
don't.
is a sacred
I don't do
notebook.
it. No. I don't do it for I don't do it every place. But like when I'm writing, like I will, like on whatever page I'm on, I will like push it so that it's as flat as possible.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm not like cracking the spine prematurely. It just happens through use and things like that. And some of my older bullet journals show it more. But it's like, yeah, I agree. Like I don't do it just to do it.
Just to be doing it. If it happens, it happens
naturally.
because you need that flatness. Yeah, that I understand. And like, okay, that
But
happens.
if I'm
There are
reading,
people who are like, no, I got to break it in before I read it. I'm like, oh, the book.
Does anybody have the like matte gloss debate feelings?
I'm an either.
All my
depends-
books are matte.
Oh,
depends
Yeah,
on the book.
Zara's books are matte. They look nice. They feel good. The matte does feel good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It does feel good.
yeah, the matte has a sort of like authority to it, but at the same time, my matte books get a lot dirty, like get dirtier very quick.
Well, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
all the books on
Yeah,
my
there is that.
bookshelf, and apparently almost all my favorite books that I brought with me from my mom's place are matte, and I never noticed that. But this is gloss. I don't like this cover, by the way. They redid them.
Yes,
I hate the new covers of this series.
the old covers look so beautiful.
That's
I
another pet peeve of
know.
Oh my
mine.
gosh.
That's another pet peeve of mine.
I hate okay, so did you so there's a book called, I don't have the physical book with me, Descendant of the Crane by
I just
John
read
Huck,
that book.
right? So they redid the cover because she had to switch publishers because the first one completely screwed her over, but she had to remove all
Ooh.
online references to that probably in the settlement agreement because all of a sudden it's all gone. But anyway, the new cover, I'm like, I hate it.
What was the old cover? I only know what the new cover looks like. Was
Oh,
it just
really?
describe it? Just describe it.
It's like a dark background and you have a crane coming out of like a water lily and it's like really big, but then you have her really small underneath it. And then the UK version is like the entire palace with her super small and you barely see the crane.
Oh.
And then the new version is like mostly text with like, and it feels
Okay, I
very
think it's-
flat and like it doesn't jump to life. Whereas like I like the US version better than the UK version, but at least both of those like give you the vibe of the story. And whereas the new one, I was like, this doesn't tell you anything.
I think I actually have. I think I actually read the US version then. That was the old one, and I feel like this conversation has been had before about Descendant of the Crane, but I thought it was a different book.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's okay.
Natalie, I love long chapters. I'm with you on cliches unless it's pertinent to the story. Like it's a time period where you want to emphasize that this cliche goes to that time period. Like if it's the 40s and it's something that they would have said in the 40s, then I don't know if it's really a cliche anymore then. And prologues that don't follow the main character. Most prologues, I think a lot of prologues are telling you backstory, so they don't necessarily
yeah, my prologue here doesn't follow the main character, but it sets up the entire book, which revolves around the main character. And then this one, the prologue does revolve around the main character. So
talking about book covers, especially I know that I want to change mine. I'm in the middle of a series, and that's one of my bookish peeves is when they change book covers in the middle of a series.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Just the book cover change in general, like especially if I've been buying books in a series and then like we get to the end and now we're gonna do like a special. So wait, now I'm buying 2 of these. Like, no, stop it.
I still have a book that I need to get rid of because I'm so annoyed that
the number of versions.
One book is different, and I'm just like,
oh, that would drive me bananas.
Me too.
you can't go on my shelf.
Okay. So how do you organize your bookshelves then?
Well, here doesn't count because I don't have them all.
Faves,
Yeah.
and then new stuff is in the middle where I haven't decided if it's a fave yet or if it's becoming a fave. Like I love Amari and the Night Brothers, but that's my latest read and I loved it. So I'm gonna get the next book, but it's not. I don't have anything but the one yet. So there's a lot of books that are new that are here, and it's because there's only 1 or 2 and the series isn't finished. My classic faves. C.S. Lewis, Jane Austen, they're also, they get like second tier.
Where is
kinda.
Brandon Sanderson? Just out of curiosity, where does
Brandon,
Brandon live?
and Kelly Jemison, and Lee Bardugo. I don't care if you think that any of them are mainstream and basic. I love them.
I love them
That's
too. It's
fine.
Okay.
Top billing.
I knew where they'd be, and so I was like, well, let's just see where Brandon lands on the hierarchy.
Brandon, Lee, and K. Jemison.
For me, I have my books up at the top, like ones that I sent through my Ko-fi page. And
Yes,
then I have
and
all
really
of and then I have my childhood favorites here. And then I have a bunch of books about Sherlock, a bunch of books about fairy tales,
Also.
and then I have like my friends' books, and then series that I really liked, and then everything else is like books I need to read.
Okay. Yeah,
And then underneath my desk, which you can't see, like those are all my writing craft books.
Oh,
Yeah, I have my writing
Handy,
craft books and
yeah.
stuff like that over
Handy.
here. And some
close.
down bottom shelf, my drawing books and
Yeah.
sketchbooks and stuff like that.
This annoys me.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
But like, so I had read this book in a different version, but then I saw this cover and I was like, oh, I like it even more. And then I had read The Giver forever ago, giving away my copy, and then I was writing a paper on it, and so I got this cover because it's the anniversary cover and I really like it. And like this medallion doesn't bother me as much because there's nothing important down here.
Right.
But like, you know, you're covering part of the design.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't
in the
cover my
sky,
eye.
you know, you're covering, one of the constellations.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
But I
I'm-
do
I'm-
like that this is raised.
I do
Yeah.
too.
I love that.
Cool.
That I love. And so, man, that just means the sticker just ruins the book even more. Urgh. One thing I love this collection of, I have my Jane Austen collection. It's really basic, but it's got what a lot of the books won't do, her unfinished works. Like there's a really pretty Jane Austen set that I wanted. It's beautiful. It's hardcover and, you know, feels really nice, but they don't have her unfinished work. So I'd have to keep the one book,
Nope.
you know, and I'm like, no, so I just can't get it. I'm waiting for a really pretty set that has even her unfinished works. You can put them all in one book, but I have to have them. I need them.
I
So
hate
that's why I
this
keep this
thing.
ugly set. But she still, even though they're ugly, she still gets this room.
good.
It's fine.
This is probably the thing I hate the most. This is book 1, and this is like book 2
No.
or 3.
That's a no.
No.
That is a pet peeve.
No.
How does that even happen?
I don't like it
No.
at all.
Who are we dragging live on this stream? Who wrote these?
Let us know.
This
We
was
need
written by
names.
Kenneth Opel, but it's one of his older series, so I don't know.
And
who
it's
published
why.
it.
Why did you do this?
The
Yeah.
two sizes, I just don't get it. Like,
And it looks so ugly on the
Yes.
bookshelf. But
Oh.
I categorize my bookshelf by age and by type of book. And when I say type, I mean like the ones that I rip up, and then by genre. Yeah, so like, okay, see, this is acceptable for a book that I'm gonna rip up. This is tape.
Yep.
Yeah, this is tape. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I did
Yeah.
not rip those up, but this
Right.
was published in 1930,
Wow.
which
Wow.
is why
I love that.
the pages are flopping everywhere.
I
But if
am,
I ever did anything like this, oh my gosh, I'd be so sad and disappointed in myself.
yes, don't do that. Talk to Zara, Shanon, talk to anybody who's done it and go, how did you do the same size? Because
Yeah, but I've heard of that happening, and that's a no for me. After this is why it makes me really nervous when I buy the books one at a time. I'm like, if you change the covers on me or change the size of the books, now I'm not that strict. Like I don't need all the books on each shelf to be the same length, but I need all the books in the set, in the series. They all have to be the same. You know, so if you
Yeah.
change the size of the book on me, I'm not going to want it. I'm going to be
Yes.
just like this.
I
other
mean,
book.
I
I'm
will
hoping
say
it's
I
better.
read all my books on ebook, and then the ones that I really like, I get in paperback later. I don't really have hardcovers except the books I just bought from Barnes and Noble in celebration of me getting my job. Because I went for one, and then I saw 4 others, and I was like, well, I guess I'm a sucker.
Yes, which everybody here gets that.
Yeah.
And this is a celebration, okay? You deserve
Yeah,
an
my
extra
mom was
book.
paying, so I was
Oh,
like, great.
absolutely. Fill it up.
Yeah, what mom can do?
Taking my arm down a table and just knocked them all in the cart.
But
We'll
it's
take
like
a lot.
if it's a series, first of all, I'm gonna read the first book and know if I like it. But then, you know, I don't know how long the books are gonna take in between them. So it's like I just read the ebooks, and then if I really like them and they are in paperback, then I'm like, okay, I'll buy the whole set.
Oh my gosh, you must. Okay, tell me your opinion on this, because most of the time when I buy hard or just physical copies of books, they're either presents or I'm just impatient for the next book in a series. So I have a lot of last books in a series, but not the first 2 books. Or I have the book right in the middle of the series, but not books 1 to 3 and 4 to the whatever.
This is why Charlie has my heart. Like, I'm like,
Okay. If I were in your, so I feel like there are some people who would buy all the other books so that you have the collection.
Yes.
Me, I would do the opposite, give
get
away
rid
the
of.
physical books
Yes.
and just have them all on ebook so that I
Yes.
can read them whenever I want, but still have like space in my apartment.
But see, they all have a certain amount of space on my bookshelf, and it feels really emptying and degrading when I have to get rid of them because I spent money on them
No,
to
yeah.
read them
Donate
for
them.
for an
No,
hour.
No, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I would donate them if it was just like if I'd read them and it was like the end of a series or something. It's like, unless I really think I'm going to go back and reread them, then I would maybe make the investment to get the other ones. But if it's like I read this series through once, I'm not going to reread it again.
So I have ACOTAR. I have the 2 books in the 3-book series of the old covers.
I like the old covers so much better than the new ones.
And they look so beautiful. But I don't think I'm ever going to go back to reread that story. But I have the first 2 books. So I feel obligated to get the 3rd book because the 3rd book is just the end of the series.
No.
I have the first 3 books of The Throne of Glass. I had gotten the paperback because I loved the cover. And it was matte and it kind of raised and beautiful. And then the 2nd and 3rd were given to me as gifts. And I think the 3rd one's signed, so like I can't get rid of that. But like I'm not gonna go back and read them. Like I have them, and if it's a signed book, no matter what, I keep it, and it's in my closet at my mom's place. But otherwise, it's like if I'm not rereading something, and I know I'm not rereading something, I'm gonna give it away to I'm gonna try and pawn it off on a friend first, and if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna donate it.
Actually, you know what?
1 year.
Sorry.
I was going to say is I do 1 year. So like with all of my books and any traditionally published books that I buy, so usually I read first on through my library, either in real life, like my stack behind me, or on my Libby. And then I'll buy the ones that I know I'll reread. And my top 2 shelves are always the books I'll reread in a year. So like in 1 year, I'll pick like Lore I've read again last year. I read twice last year because I liked it that much. So, but then I know that's not one I'm going to donate. Like I'll keep it for my long-term shelf because at some point I'll be wandering around yelling at Ricky, I can't find that book I loved 8 years ago. I'll be like, oh, it's the pretty one with the snakes. And I'll be like, yes. And then I'll be able to find it and reread it.
It's the pretty one with the snakes.
Well, I was obsessed with the cover. Like he heard about that cover for 6 months. Was like,
oh my!
I mean, it is a gorgeous cover.
He's like, I don't want to hear about the cover anymore. I'm like, okay, then just buy it.
Have you talked to him about Ariadne's cover?
No.
It's illustrated. It's gorgeous.
I haven't even seen, so I'll be doing that next. Anywho, but so then what I'll do if I reread it in a year, I'll keep it. If I'm not, my first place is we have these little books, libraries in neighborhoods all around.
Yes,
me. So they don't have as many kids books, and I have a ton of like middle grade and YA books. So I usually try to go give them there first, and then if they won't take them, then schools. I'll drop
okay.
Public school libraries always are looking for extra books. So that's my tip to everybody is if you can, or you have a school around you, consider it.
And just contact your school to make sure that they can take them.
Yes.
The same thing if you're trying to donate to a library,
sorry.
because sometimes they can't. So just call them ahead of time, say, I've got books, can you take them? They'll let you know if they can or if they can't. And if they can't, a lot of times they'll tell you where you can give them, where kids will be able to read them, like if there's a center or something like that. But yeah, so I'm big on donating books. Goodwill's a lot of times will take books if your library won't take them.
Well, I was on a channel earlier this week with Beth Ann, who is I can't say her last name, but she's a booktuber, and she says she will buy physical copies of Authortuber or indie books, and she buys them specifically so when she's done that she can donate them to libraries to get them to other people who may not have come across them.
Oh,
I've done that too.
Yeah.
In fact, I did that with Blood of the Lily. So with when I finished the Blood of the Lily, because I had one of the wrong copies, or was it the second one that had
Oliver Rose was the one with the highlighted sentence.
Yeah. So yes. By the way, can I ask a quick question? The self-published people will know. Earlier, I saw someone say something about a link in the. Is that a self-pub thing? If the link is in the printed version, was that what that meant? Like for the.
I didn't.
Someone earlier said a pet peeve in the book was when the link is on the page, and I was like a click link. I just didn't get what I think it was Eva who said it.
Yeah, she might have meant the print version. I have now decided to put QR codes at the back of my print version so people can buy the next book.
I get it. Okay, that's what you meant.
So for the ones that I did, so I formatted these 3 in vellum because it was very, very easy, and I was rapid releasing these, and I was like, I knew what I was going to do for the design, and then I was just like, I don't have time to do this. So it's very simple. And Vellum, which is a Mac only software, but there is one called Atticus, which is web-based and kind of does the same thing that you can use for Mac or PC. They let you hide, make it appear differently depending on print versus ebook formatting. So I have just the logos here. And obviously I type out my website because it's so easy, but otherwise I don't have.
Are people putting those on the cover then? I would never put something like that on my cover, but I don't see any problem with putting those in the back of the book so people would know. Oh,
well, like I don't want to, but I think she's saying like I don't want to see like on the title page a weird like a link for something, or I don't want to see, the links for all the social media because it looks not neat.
Like a poster, Okay, another pet peeve of mine is when people stack the books on the bookshelves so that you can see the pages and not the spine.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that bothers me too.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you know what book you're picking up? That's so much extra work when you want to pick up a book.
There's an actual reason behind that some people do that, but I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah, somebody said it.
Who said it? Yeah, somebody said it on a book.
I feel like I watched a video last year or something where someone mentioned why, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense."
Okay.
Is it something to do with knowing what the title was, so that you picked up a book and you could see what it was about before you actually opened it up, or something like that?
No, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was.
It was, but they gave a really specific reason. I was like, "Oh, I had never heard of it. I'm gonna have to."
Was it about the dust jacket? Because if you put it in with the pages facing out, it doesn't like rub it the way it rubs in the way that it's around the book. Versus if you're putting it in spine out.
That doesn't sound familiar.
No,
like that doesn't sound like why it was. Oh my gosh, I can't think of why it was, but yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. But I do remember a video last year where somebody said that's what they did, and I thought,
I think it was Daniel Green who might have said it.
Watch some of his videos.
Yeah, I used to watch him too. Yeah, he's the fantasy review guy, right?
He also reacted to Brandon Sanderson's stuff.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, that would have been if we could have moved it fast enough, that would have been the trend to hop on. Would have been that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
funny because I was getting ready to record my wrap up, and that's when his thing came, and I said I was going to record and I actually recorded myself saying I was going to record the wrap up, but I'm hooked on this Kickstarter site right now. But I never have time to edit because of everything that's been going on.
Right.
So that you guys might get that whenever I do I'm going to have to combine my wrap ups. I don't have time. I'm trying to think of when I'm going to have time.
I'm doing a 2-week vlog.
I'm doing a
2 weeks
wrap
of
up.
content going in one.
I feel so bad. So sorry, guys. There's no there. The wrap up has been recorded. I just don't have time to edit. Like I literally got home 15 minutes before it was time to do this.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you date it, so we know what time.
This was February. This was
be
March.
good.
And remember when this thing with Brandon Sanderson happened? Hey, this was me being like.
That'll be
everyone loves nostalgia. Okay.
Dusting off a spot. So bad. I mean, I don't mean to be a salesman for him because he doesn't need me to be, but I'm just honestly, I just want the books. I'm not gonna lie. I need to be honest. I need to be my honest, authentic self, and I want a pretty book. I want a pretty book. Yeah. It's gonna look good, and I know I'm gonna read it. So
yeah, you're gonna read it. It's not just you buying it for decoration.
Well, no, because he's gonna put it. I'm getting the way he combines the ebook. You get the ebook anyway, so I technically don't have to buy the book, but I do want the book.
But what I'm saying is you're buying the physical book just for decoration, and you're never gonna crack it open to read it.
No, it's gonna get opened. I want to see the pictures. Like he said everything that's gonna be in it, and I'm like, I want it.
What's funny is when I saw the Brandon Sanderson thing, Nia was the person I thought of instantly. I was like, I know exactly who is going to geek out on this so hard.
I had 2 hours to get things done.
I
watched the video and got on the Kickstarter. That was my 2 hours of productivity right down.
If only Kate was here for this react one, but she's probably like, I'm already getting interviewed tomorrow. I don't want to do it.
It's like that's enough. That's enough. Oh my gosh. So
I do like the idea of because I think I know we all buy Authortube friends books and stuff, but donating them to lending libraries is a great idea.
Yeah,
because it does get books into folks' hands who otherwise may not say, I'm going to go on Amazon and hunt down urban fantasy or whatever it might be. So yeah, Morgan, I love you. 100.
Yes. Love donating to libraries.
Wait, is this a thing? A library sale? So like the library sells books?
No, I think it's you give books to libraries.
My school, my school just has a stack of books that they're giving away, textbooks.
I mean, I remember school libraries doing that.
Old, and I love it because I just will pick up random books. I have no idea what they're about, but
that's amazing.
Oh, library has to unhaul too.
I'm gonna
library.
I'm gonna do that because
I want to do this too. My neighbors will be like, "What are you doing?"
The ones that my library have, they're real cheap, like 50 cents, $1.
Oh, yeah, sold.
Okay, I've never heard of the New York Public Library doing that, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe an outsider. Well, we probably have less space in our.
They're really big libraries, and there are lots of them. So, like, if one place runs out of space, which I can't even imagine, I'm sure they're like, "Here's."
Do you have a used bookstore near you? Because I know that
near
we don't have books, or just anyone here. Because for my public library, we have they don't do like these sales, but they have an underground covert used book store, and so all the unwanted library books go down to the covert bookstore.
I love that. This sounds like a great children's story, like the unwanted books going to the covert, like underground used bookstore.
Yeah,
the underground bookstore. Someone make it a middle grade.
Exactly, make it a story.
I have mixed feelings about this one, Eva. Because even though I think that they look really cool, I can't do it. It would make me crazy.
No, I can't do it either.
I can't do it. I need
it would make me crazy. I need things organized by things by theme and or series. So like I have like my author friends books and my like and other series by different authors who are traditionally published, they're in series order. Like they're not split up by any, like the shelf is the category, but I need series together.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
like,
I
or
mean,
just
my series
authors together. Why do you have one author over there when the same author wrote another series that's way over there?
Because
I
that
know.
one's pink. Because that one's pink and that one's yellow. Stop
I
it.
think it's aesthetically pleasing to look at on other people's channels.
Barf.
Yeah, I love looking at it.
I look at it
for
and get
me,
frustrated.
functionality would have to win out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't.
I love it. Like, I'm not
know where my
judgy.
books are.
That I get judgy on.
Okay. So I also, maybe it's just like my bookshelves, but I double stack my books in my bookshelves. Sometimes my bookshelves look so disgusting. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Completely honest, my bookshelf is so disgusting because I have books stacked, double stacked, and then I have books stacked on top. And of course, there's not enough to stack on top, so they're just kind of slid in there on the side horizontally.
So what you're saying is you need a bigger bookshelf.
But I still have enough room.
A secondary bookshelf.
But I still have enough room to put cute things on my bookshelf, like
you
yours.
Have a shelf next to you that's like super empty. You could.
I know. I was gonna say I can see one behind you.
No, okay. This is where my tripod goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got it.
But this is an art book. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty, y'all. I love this so much. It's an art book.
Pretty.
It was in the. This is the most expensive book I've ever bought in my life. But like, it's filled with arts. A bunch of artists who had to fill in the prompt what a night means to them. So some of it there are some authors who wrote stories, comics, art.
And all the
pages
like
are
a
gilded.
knight in shining armor, or a knight as in at night.
It's called 101. Or wait, what?
1001 Nights. Oh, that's cute. That's so funny.
I really like that book.
That's pretty.
Yeah, this is the third volume. There's like 4 volumes, but I bought this for like $100. But like best investment because it was like individual artists. So
yeah. I mean, mad props.
That's the only reason why it's not on my crusty bookshelf because it deserves a spotlight.
For $100,
it's valuable. It can't be contaminated.
For $100, it would be getting prime real estate on my bookshelf as well.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Okay, that's cool, JC.
Yeah. I was a bunch of different authors' books.
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about like same cover syndrome?
Yeah.
And same title syndrome.
But what's also hilarious is that
blank and blank. Fill in the blank.
So here's the thing: self-published books will use the same image, but traditionally published books will use the exact same font, and I'll be like, "That's the same font. Is it in the same series? Nope, different author, different series, different publishing house." And I'm like, "You're right next to each other because you're in the same genre and you're going head to head with each other, but you're the exact same font." And as a reader who like does things visually, that's given to me because I have aphantasia, so I can't come up with it myself. I'm like, this isn't fair. Like, use a different font, modify the font, because that's what my cover artist did for the Belgrave Legacy. Like, she took some font and then she modified it. So even if someone else like used the same base font, it would never look like this.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, for the longest time, I thought Lore and Rule of Wolves were the same book.
Yeah, you're the one that was saying
that. You said that because it's the white and the like metallic lettering and
the snake hair or the Medusa.
Yeah. So another one of my pet peeves is folding the pages because Eva and I are opposites on this. I do not want my books to look like they're read unless they're super old. So the Jane Austen ones are super old, so they do look red. And I think my Bronte sister ones are also old. But
when you say fold you mean dog ear?
Like dog ear.
Yeah, dog ear.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
dog ear.
If I'm laying on the couch and I don't have a bookmark,
this is what I do.
I dog
It's
ear,
just
but I read most of my fiction books on my phone now, so it's not really a thing anymore. Like it's still in the books that I read for like college, and it's in my nonfiction books. But my fiction books, I never really dog-eared too much because I almost always had a bookmark on my bed with me while I was reading when I was in high school and middle school and younger. But then when I went off to college, I was like, I don't think I always have one.
Even with my law books,
gum wrappers.
Do it. My law books, I'm like, I paid a lot of money, $200 for a law book. I'm not going to use anymore for anything ever. But this is how I would do my notes. I'd put a sticky tab, the Post-it note, fold it, it stays in. Like these have been in this notebook for over a month. They don't fall out. And then if you need to write notes on it, so you don't have to write notes in the book, write the notes on the Post-it note. And then
so
the
thing is that in high school, I think also in middle school, we had to hand our books in to show that like we were circling words we didn't know. And then my teacher got mad at me. She's like, you're not circling enough words. I'm like, I'm sorry that my vocabulary is good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry I have an above average vocabulary and you were just a fool.
Wait, so your teacher actually went through each book to see the notes? That's so much extra work.
Can you imagine the time? I know. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I love the sticky notes, but in university, I was just like, it's too many notes. So instead I used to type out all my notes. I used to type out the quote. Then I used to type out an explanation for the quote or something like that, and that grew too much. So
I write them on my iPad. So what I would do, and this is probably still making Nia cringe what I'm about to say, but I would like bracket in the book what it is, and then in my notes be like, this page, first set of brackets, like if there are multiple ones, and then like write my note down. But the sticky notes never worked for me, even when I folded them over. So I have tried your thing. I have tried it, and it doesn't work.
Color code?
It doesn't. Look at this. I'm telling you, they're not falling out.
I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm just telling you that the Post-it notes that I put in and folded have fallen out of things time and time again for me.
We've gone to the crazy place where this could be us backstage, and we've lost the show completely. We're just at the point where this could just be everyone's just watching us do us.
Okay, see though, when it comes to sticky notes, you need the non-plastic sticky notes. Because you write on the sticky notes.
No, I only do paper ones.
Yeah, but then
they
also have to
highlights in the book.
No, I do that too.
Okay.
No, I use a sticky note. I
highlight in textbooks and nonfiction books. But I now read as much nonfiction as I can, like in a PDF on my iPad, so I can like erase a highlight if I want. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, my fiction reading is mostly ebooks now. So it's like
I will highlight some fiction books, even if I see something.
I used to when I was younger because I enjoyed a scene, but not for like, oh, this is good writing purposes, which is probably what I should have been doing.
It's more just something that hits my heart or hits me, that I'm just like, oh,
like if it's something that I like.
I'll get a sticky note.
Yeah. So Nia's going to come and see my books. Like, I can't read any of these.
When it comes to fiction books, I don't take any notes at all. No notes at all for fiction books. But for nonfiction books, I watched the hack where you highlight your book and then you throw it in the microwave and the highlights disappear so that you can resell your book.
Yep.
What? Is that
my God!
Video on it.
What? But have you tested it though? Because I feel like there are like hacks that are fake.
Yeah, is this gonna ruin my book? I'm gonna be really upset.
This is real. It's with the friction highlighters because they erase through friction, right? And then heat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say how many years old I am, but this young person has just blown my mind.
Blown my whole world. I know.
I mean, now I read my textbooks, but that would have been helpful for me to know my freshman year.
Thousands. I don't even want to think about through 2 master's degrees. Are you kidding me? I don't want to think about the amount of money on a down payment on the house. We've done
the nice thing about my grad school program is that there are like no textbooks, or I had like 2. because everything else is like here's a news article or here's a PDF.
Okay. It's not in your. It's got to be in your tuition or something. They've got to be giving you some books, right? Or no?
No.
Oh wow. Okay,
See,
well
Zara
then they've gone around the
told you
academic racket. That's how we made money in the business school.
I'm like
selling our
Zara.
own books.
Like Zara told you, they don't fall out.
I have tried. I tried for my books. I tried for books for my mom. I've tried it. It doesn't matter whether the page is like laminated, like in a textbook, or whether it's like pure paper in a. I don't know. Maybe I was just really rough with my books, but like they were. Because all the covers are fine.
Where have you been buying your sticky notes, Sarah? Because there are some good sticky note buying sites, and there are some bad sticky note buying sites.
I would just, I would mooch off my mom, and she would buy like from Staples.
So what I did is I Xeroxed the pages and then I highlighted and made notes. That's what I always did.
Oh, I've done that before
That's a good
too.
idea.
That's what my teachers in high school would do if we like had to mark up a poem.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And that's what I like. I'll try and do. Like I got lazy about it, but what I was doing when I was still in undergrad is I would like use Adobe Scan on my iPad and just then do it in GoodNotes.
Wait, is Xerox a
photocopy?
Copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xerox is a lot of paper.
Yes, it can be. I would imagine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had a friend in Jefferson City, Missouri, is where I grew up, and there's a huge Scholastic distribution center there, like huge. And so a lot of the books that get shipped to authors, I always see the address down the street from where I grew up, and I was like, oh, Jeff City. But in class one time in middle school, a teacher came in with a stack of those pages for us to mark up, and it happened to be a Scholastic book. And this kid in class made this whole point about like copyright and how it was an infringement. I don't think it was. There was a whole like explanation about how it's school and literary purposes, whatever. However, I still to this day had a little joyous moment in my heart when this 12-year-old kid was like, should you be copying that book? Like, is that violating the author's copyright? And I was just like, oh, like,
am I spelling it?
20%. 20% of the book.
Yeah, you can do up to a certain percent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're reviewing it, you
Yeah.
can do a certain.
Or you used to teach too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Scholastic Center Sale, Barrett. That's a thing.
Oh, it is always a thing. I was telling Eva about it, that they do it a couple times a year. It's where I get a lot of my books. Like,
yeah, Eva said that in the down below.
Yeah. Oh, she's already said it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking now. Yes, we are going to do this. They do it, I think, 2 or 3 times a year.
Interesting.
So,
The Scholastic School Book Fair was my favorite time of year. It was like the only happy time in my middle school every single year.
Best.
I never bought books at that sale.
I got in trouble one time because I took a book to read it because I didn't have the money to buy it. And it's always like I planned the book that I wanted to read. I was like, how many pages is it? I have time. And I was like, went beeline straight for that book and just started reading it.
Yeah.
I did that once, but my mom, my mom was still gonna pay for it or whatever. But the first time I ever went to one, I think my mom gave me like $3, and she very quickly learned that I needed 10, and then I would have to learn how to budget off of that. But like $3 was not enough.
That's
Budget
smart.
was tough.
No,
$3 was not enough, Mom, and she's like, but I'm not giving you more than 10. You can make your choices.
For Scholastic Center Sale, I thought you meant something totally different because I did not picture a tall Barrett and Eva going into a school to shop for these books.
No. So
no, that's different.
That is different. So the Scholastic Book Fair goes into schools and sets up like legit, like a pull up with a van, and it's got a bunch of books in it, except not creepy. Okay. And then, but
they bring the van of books, but then they set it up at tables.
Correct.
That looks like a convention.
Yes. But then
it's not. Hey, kids, come to the back of the table.
No. Although I would have been that kid who would have been like, books, okay. But anyway,
do you guys remember the bookmobile? Did you guys have that, or they already get rid of that?
We had them. I mean, I think we're similar.
Anybody could have pulled up with a van with bookmobile on it.
I'd have been like, here we go. That and the ice cream truck. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Either way though. So at the center sales, you actually go to the distribution center, and what it is any damaged books. So like my Hunger Games books were technically damaged, so I got all 3 of these and have never opened them because they're basically in perfect shape, but they were damaged. There's a little marking on the ink on the pages on the outside, and so I got each one for 75 cents.
Oh, nice.
So it's stuff like that happens, and you just have to go and like dig sometimes and like be willing to spend a lot of time because they just roll out these huge bins, and they'll have tables with like the Hunger Games were on tables, but there'll be other books that'll just be in bins that you have to go like fishing for, digging, and it's just
Got
fun.
it. Now I get I'm gonna regret my life choices.
Yes.
With
I mean, the thing about the life choices is it's not possible to spend more than like $100. Like it's literally almost impossible with how cheap they make it.
When it
Yeah,
and then
damage.
when it comes to the $10 thing, my mom never gave me more than $3 because I'd go to this fair and I'd buy everything but books. I even bought one time I bought a shredder. It was a handheld shredder, and it was this big, so it could shred like a Post-it note. And I just shred my paper on my desk for no reason.
Challenge accepted. That's it. I was expecting someone to say challenge accepted. No, my mom would be. There were a few times where she would come and she'd be like, "Oh, do you want like a bookmark for all your books? Do you want like a bag for your books?" And I'm like, "No." It's like I just want the books.
That's good though. That's good.
Yeah, you knew what you wanted.
My worst ever book was a used book, and I was so proud of it because it was signed, and I cannot get rid of anything that's signed, even if I have never recognized the author. I did that once. I went to a signing for a random author, bought the book on the spot, and had it signed, and now I can't get rid of it because it's signed. But the book is so like wrecked. Oh my gosh, wait, I should show you what the book looks like because I have been thrown off ever reading it and opening it. But
I'll give you permission to throw it away. Go grab it.
My youngest son loves to read, where my older son was just like, eh. And, he's neurodivergent. So anything I can get him into, I will do. So I spent $120 at the last Scholastic for him. I let him pick out all the books he wanted.
So what kinds of books is he drawn to? What is he like?
He likes a lot of nonfiction. So he reads about weather phenomenon, dinosaurs. I mean, he's just, and he did buy a couple that were about a cat detective, I think it was.
Yeah.
But nonfiction gets you because they're more expensive than fiction books, like
totally
regular.
Yeah.
But he bought a whole series. I mean, it's like 100. I don't know how many altogether, but they're all little ones, but they're all about different natural disasters that have happened all the way back to
that's cool.
Volcanoes, tsunamis, everything. Everything's about a certain natural disaster all throughout history.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pompeii.
Yeah, Pompeii's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So here is the sequel that I.
Oh, Darklight.
Yeah, it's signed. No, this is not the one. No, it is signed. Oh my gosh, yes. And I was like, yay. Okay. So here is the first book that I've never even opened because it looks hideous to me. So I have no idea what this is. And the entire spine is taped.
I give you permission to not only give it away, but maybe like, I don't know.
Oh, and I hate this on books. When the corner is like,
Why didn't we lead with this as the pet peeve? This one checks so many boxes.
I just don't like it at all. But the pages are nice. They have the series of unfortunate events.
The rough cut
pages.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, that's very expensive for publishing houses to do.
Every time I see that,
it cuts down on a step, and yet it's more expensive for publishing houses to leave it as rough cut. And everyone in sales and marketing is convinced that people don't like them. And we're like, what are you talking about? This is all book readers want.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just because it's unpopular that they're not doing it. But I don't know.
They said it's for costs. And it's like, but people loved it with the series of Unfortunate Events. Like I have For the Wolf, it has it. And I was so happy. It's like, it makes
What's the wolf about? Oh my gosh.
It's a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, but it's...
Does it get worse? It's just open and it get worse?
Yeah.
No, well, yes, the back, the last page has it has been the acknowledgements have been blocked out, the word acknowledgements. But look, it has like a library card. I never see those anywhere anymore.
You
I
would
love
be okay to give that away. I don't care if the Lord himself came down and signed it. Let it go.
Yeah, let
No,
it go.
I'm gonna keep the library card because I like library cards.
Fair.
For the Wolf
The best part of
is
the book.
a like, it's kind of Red Riding Hood retelling, but it's high fantasy and it's very tangential.
Okay.
Barrett and I have been in house hunting. Anything is funny at this point.
I know. I'm like, I'm just tired. We're just tired.
Oh gosh.
When people
Eva, I'm sorry you've not
The young
seen
people
Book Mill,
can
but
keep
the Book Mill
going.
Bill used to be the greatest thing ever because the books would literally come to you. Just riding down the street, here they come. Books.
See, I've never seen that in New York City, and that's probably because no one would ever let their like kid go and
to a bus
because they'd be like, "You're gonna get kidnapped."
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Have
I
you
mean,
ever?
we're like that now, but growing up around military bases and in the South mostly, like children just go out and you come home when the street lights on.
Have you ever?
I never let my kids do that. I don't know how we were.
my parents, I know, I think the same thing. Like, how did my mom just let me go? And then now I'm like, I'm sure she was just like, maybe he comes back. Well, you know.
Okay, but did you live in the same place as where you live now? Because I feel like different areas, of course.
This is one of the places that one of them, because you know, when you get to move around, you find places that you like. And then it's like, oh, this is a nice place. This is a nice place. This is diverse. The people are friendly. And then you just end up migrating back. And a lot of other people have migrated back. And you're like, oh, hey, I remember you from, you know, and then the kids are like, I remember you. We grew up in,
That sounds like a good romance novel.
Okay, so Bookish Pet Peeve, not one that's really mine, but I thought would go great with you and Nia, is I like the movie adaptation better than the book.
Oh. You know what? I have some of those though.
I hate it when it happens, but it has happened, and it's just like, oh, the movie did it so
This
much
is where we
better.
could get really unpopular opinions because I have two specifically that I am sure that some people would be upset.
Really?
I want to hear you say them.
Yeah.
Tuesdays with Maury was one that I thought the movie was way better than the book.
Oh, I didn't like the book.
I have never read
I'm
it.
not gonna watch
I thought
the
it was
movie.
way better than the book. The
Don't
other
know
one
what it's about.
is weakness because I'm a dog person, but Marley and Me. I like the movie much better than I liked the book.
Oh.
I can't read the book and I can't watch the movie.
So
Yeah.
those were two that I was just
Oh,
like,
gosh.
you know what? For me, the adaptions were better. So
I was a little bored with Marley and Me. Sorry. I don't know if that's a bookish unpopular.
I agree too.
Oh yes, on this one. I didn't
Yes.
even know. Yeah.
Have you also done The Fault in Our Stars? Because I like the movie a lot better.
Not
than
yet.
I haven't read the book, so I haven't.
Okay.
Read the
Okay,
book,
I like the movie
I haven't
better
read
than
the
the
book
book as
either.
well.
So.
I actually think I kind of like not the whole Hunger Games movie franchise, but I do think I like the second Hunger Games movie better than the book. And that was actually my favorite one in the trilogy.
Okay.
And then
They did kill So Doherty.
yeah. And so I don't like it better than the book, but I did like the Golden Compass movie from 2007 that everyone like
Was that the Nicole
universally
Kidman?
hates.
Nicole
Yes.
Kidman, right? Yeah. I liked that one too.
And Daniel Craig. And like
Yes,
people hate it. And I'm like, they streamlined the story. What did you expect? It's a 2-hour movie. They streamlined the story. And then when I went back to read the book, part of me was like, why didn't he do that in the book? But like when you read the book first, you're like, okay, fine. That's just how the events are. But I cannot stand the TV show because everything is good except what? The main actress who thinks that like serious acting or emoting anything is just shouting. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. I don't care that you have amazing world building. I don't care that you have Lin-Manuel Miranda playing this role. Like, well, even though I think the guy who did it in the movie did it better. I don't care that you have Ruth Wilson playing like Mrs. Coulter, super cool and like different than Nicole Kidman. I love both your versions. I don't care that it's James McAvoy. I don't care about any of that if I don't like Lyra.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Have you, speaking of the adaptation with actors on covers, have any of you, probably Nia more than anyone else, watched The Average Artist on YouTube?
No.
Because she does book cover repaintings where she will buy a book, a movie book, and she'll repaint the cover because she doesn't like the movie cover of the book in her interpretation.
That's
as well
cool.
as she'll
Yeah,
also
now I
do
need
this.
this.
She also does this challenge where she'll flip the book onto the 100th page or something like that, and then paint it. Not in the book, in the book, but
Oh, okay. I was like, she's painting.
Paint the ID. Okay.
yeah, paint whatever's happening on the 100th page.
TheAverageArtist.com.
I have
She's a YouTuber.
another adaptation that I want to throw out that again might be unpopular, but I liked the change.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody read Little Fires Everywhere, but I did think the adaptation, some of the changes they made were great, especially considering like the time period that it was released and some of the like racial things going on in the country. Those changes were good, and I think it made the story better. But that was a me thing, so I'd be interested.
Okay,
to see what anybody
here's
else
her
thought
doing
about
Percy
that.
Jackson. I put it in the private chat. I don't have Twitch open, otherwise, I'd put
Yeah,
it
same.
directly in. but-
Okay. Yeah. I don't have my Twitch open. I don't have my Twitch open. So if someone
Okay, I'll
requests
do it.
this
I'll open Twitch.
to hydrate or something, just put
Wow.
it in the chat so that we know.
Are you looking? What are you looking at?
Percy
It's the
Jackson.
average
Oh.
artist, her doing Percy Jackson.
Wow.
I don't want to even try opening it. I'm afraid I'll lose the internet.
I know.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, next
Yeah,
time.
well,
She has a very easy name to remember.
Yeah, the average painter. I don't want to even try opening it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'll lose the internet.
So Natalie, she says, I love watching artists paint the page edges. So you see the picture when the book is closed. That is called four-edge painting.
Yep, I love her.
So
too.
Natalie
Mhm.
says, I love watching
Yep.
artists
I like
paint the page.
Oh, I think that's that you, Zara.
Yeah, I thought I closed Twitch. I don't know why it's. Okay, we're good. I closed the window and it was still playing. I don't know.
Thank
how
you,
that's
Eva,
possible.
for the cheer.
yeah, what is it here? What do I do?
What do you mean by painting the edge of the page? Do you mean like the
So,
edge of
like-
the cover, the back, the spine?
No. So like if I held this and you could see
Oh.
the skyline of London or something,
Okay.
that's a
Yes.
four-edge painting. But also some like old ones would do it so that if it's like this, you can't tell. But if you tilted it back, like if you tilted it a little bit, it would. So now these pages are at an angle. It would reveal
Okay.
Like a word or a
inappropriate image. Like maybe
That's-
having sex.
That sounds really cool, but unpopular opinion. I don't think I like that.
You don't like painted pages?
I like gilded pages, not just.
I
I
like gilded pages.
I like gilded more than colored pages. The colored,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like the color.
Yeah, there are some book boxes that will do it, but like
Yes.
I see, like I
They'll do
wanted
that.
silver or gold,
Mm-hmm.
but like I don't think I want black with like even if I had like the Shadow and Bone book and it was, so the actual ones like they have the special collector editions are like gilded now, the Sun Summoner one
the
and
white
the-
ones.
and
Yeah.
the Shadow Summoner versions, but I think it was like in a book box or something where I saw and like someone had like painted the
Yeah,
kefta
that's-
pattern.
Yeah.
Like painted the kefta pattern on the pages, where it was like blue and then the gold, and I was like, I don't want that.
Okay, another thing is I'm very. I don't know. I just don't care if there's an image for the header of.
I
same,
don't either.
Same. Children
I
and
love it.
Kids Lit does it all the time, especially in middle grade. Holy cow. Every
They
chapter
did it
has
for
Yeah.
every single Harry Potter book. Did they do it in the Percy Jackson books? I don't
I
remember.
No, I
remember
don't
it in the
think
Percy
so.
Jackson
I don't
I
books.
don't think they did, but it like in mine, I don't even name my chapters.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
a middle grade reader, nice,
Yep.
very posh. When I was a middle grade reader, I loved the pictures, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? But now when I look at the pictures, I'm like, why did you
Do you know what it does to me?
We
It
have
makes
so
me
much
think
space.
either lower or higher, right? So like when I pick up a book and it's got pictures in the beginning, I think this is like a lower middle grade book, or more I'm closer to chapter book feelings, where I feel like if I were a younger reader, I would be more excited by the book without the pictures at the top.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm reading up a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a me
But
thing. I'll have no control over that.
Yeah,
The adult fantasy that I was reading, I love seeing those little pictures every now and then. And some
fantasy sci-fi, give it to me.
Different.
I'm here for
Totally,
it. Plus, I love more.
Sarah Sutton's books like have one that's like a little like image that's related to the story, and I think that's cute. And for my first trilogy, I did something where it was like there's a dark angel in it, so I did like.
Oh no, see, I like that. Yeah.
But
I like that.
When it's an illustration of like a scene from the book, then I feel like it's much younger. So like when they have the illustration of like Voldemort's eyes, it's like that just screams a lot younger to me than
same.
Yeah. But also
sometimes
just in general,
in fantasy and sci-fi, or specifically in fantasy, it's like the higher end, they put extra money in to give you these little nuggets. It's not like you're reading the picture, like to me, it's not the same as reading like a picture book. You get to this and it's a little treat from the author has an artist come in and maps and stuff like that. I love maps. Like give me a map on the front end and back end of the, oh my gosh.
It's like the best of your both worlds. It's your readerly side that loves the book and the characters in the world, and then also your artist side. It's the two things together. That's what it is.
With ebooks, maps are completely ruined. And sadly, because I've been reading more ebooks, or audiobooks. Oh my gosh, okay. I hate when people are like audiobooks does not count as reading. Yes, they do.
I hate that. Yes, they
End
do.
of discussion. They do.
They count.
Yes. JC says Barrett back to Little Fires Everywhere.
This one, okay, let me just say to JC, so here's what I'll tell you. First of all, read the book, because the book is still really good. But what I'll say is Reese Witherspoon produced both. It was much closer to the book and Little Fires Everywhere than, what was the other one? Liars. Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Again, it was closer. I felt like it was a closer adaptation, and it might have been they had more runway, more episodes. I'm not sure. But it felt closer to that adaptation than the other one. I feel like they took more liberties with the first series. So,
I like Big Little Lies.
Oh, me too.
Show. I don't know. I didn't know it was a book.
I knew we would, Eva. I knew if we just kept going through the pet peeves, we'd find something.
I know. A lot of them, though. Like there really were quite a few when we started.
Pronunciations.
But it's literally it's because I like to keep my books. I've had books get messed up and ruined, and I've lost books.
Yes.
So for me, I like to keep my books in as good a condition as possible. So anything that's going to mess that up, I don't want anything that's going to mess it up. So that's why I'm going to be way on the opposite end of people who love to like dig into books. I'm like the precious, it's a thing when you lose stuff, you tend to treat them more preciously and not just, I just don't want anything to mess them up. So that it's definitely a me thing.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I hate it if a cover is bent or like a page gets like folded randomly, and it's not because I like did a tiny dog ear that like I then fold out and flatten once I pass it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I agree with this. I don't care if the pronunciation is at the front or the back, unless, I'm reading the book for cultural accuracy. In that case, pronunciation.
Put it in the front.
Is important. Yeah. But otherwise, if it's fantasy, I don't care. I'm going to pronounce the character's name however I want it.
I'll just pronounce it how I want.
Mine
if
is
you want
in
to
the
stick
back.
it in the back of the book,
Mine's
so
in
I
the back
know,
too.
that's fine. But it doesn't need to be up front. If I want to know, if I'm that curious, like I see it enough times that I'm like, how do you say that?
Like,
then I'll look in the back. But I don't need it
also
up
like
front.
my main character's names. Like you see Verity, you know how to pronounce it. You see like Knox, and you can probably guess that it's pronounced Knox. But like his second in command is pronounced Aru, and like you're not going to know that, but it doesn't really matter, and you're not going to necessarily know that Izam is pronounced that way versus like Ease or something like that. And again, it doesn't matter because like those are their names, but they're characterized in a certain way.
That's sad. Wait, do you mean like it was cut off or just cut wrong? And you have
it looks like it maybe wasn't aligned. So like,
I think how the page,
or some
the
of
page
it is
folds. Usually they fold the page, and then that's how you make the book. So if it's off, the book's gonna.
Yeah.
So that's the time when you draw something on the pages.
That's the time when someone's going to the Scholastic Book Fair and going, I'm getting that for $1, is what that is.
And I'll Google the words that are cut off.
Not the book fair, the book
and I'll
sale.
stick a
The
sticky
book
note
sale,
in there.
yeah.
Book sale. Book sale,
I'll
yeah.
put a sticky note in there that
Exactly.
tells me what the words are that are cut off. There you
I
go.
actually almost applied to the Scholastic Book Fair like marketing
Cool.
position, but
Really?
then I was like, you know what, I'd rather like apply to agent
Yeah.
jobs first. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm
This
very
is your-
happy where I am.
This is your path. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
what you're meant to do.
Exactly.
For
But
sure.
I did see that.
Manifest.
I was like, I'd be bomb at this given how much I love the Scholastic Book Fair.
Laura, I could easily see you getting a Scholastic deal with your types of books you write for MG for sure. It's
Yes.
R.L. Stein reimagined. So who
Yeah.
knows? We could be buying your books at the Scholastic Book Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very cheaply.
I hope. Well, yeah. Well, no, I'm going to buy yours full price. So I know you, so I will buy yours full
All
price.
right. It seems like the trick is be super busy and be very tired because you will be extra chatty. Because we've almost been on this one just for 2 hours. What?
Yeah, I see that. We're
Yes.
shy of 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone
So-
needs to have a good sleep tonight.
Thank
It's
you all
like
for-
if you're tired, we become delirious because
Yeah.
our
True.
inhibitions have lowered.
Yes.
Exactly.
But you also can't ask a bunch of readers and writers about bookish pet peeves and not
Yeah,
expect
because I still have a
so
ton
much.
more.
Yes. Part 2.
We'll have to.
you know, like
address
Alexander
this one. I've got
Hamilton
way
in the
more.
musical Hamilton. He's like, here's a list of 30 years of disagreements. It's like
Yeah.
we could just keep going.
Absolutely. We'll revisit some more bookish pet peeves, and I'm just going to make a long list and just check them off as we go through. Plus, I want to know, do Eva and I agree on anything else?
Yes. Bookish pet peeve bingo.
Yeah. Oh,
Authortube.
Oh yeah, you should do
That
that. I
sounds
was about to
fun.
say the same thing, and then I was like,
But,
I don't know how that would work, but I actually was thinking that.
The 3 Bs.
we'll figure that out because
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Graphic novels are also books.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
Eva said comics, and so I'll throw graphic novels in there.
Yep, comics, graphic novels, they are books. Anybody who says otherwise, your opinion is wrong. In my
But I
opinion.
don't read the graphic novel if I've already read the novel with just words.
Yeah,
I don't
I
read both. It's
haven't
one or the
read
other.
I haven't read the graphic novel of like any of the Maximum Ride books. I'm definitely not giving more money to the Twilight franchise to read those. You know, like if I already read the book, I'm not gonna buy the graphic novel because I know I'm not gonna enjoy the graphic novel more than the full like text only version.
So I thought we might get to 28,000, but we didn't quite get there. We're at 27.982
Got it.
million. Sorry, not thousand, million.
I know, we keep doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like 15K, and I was like, you mean 15 million?
No.
I was like,
Yeah. Does not compute yet.
none of us
That's
use those.
crazy.
that
And I
zeros
still
in
haven't
regular.
done my order yet. So
Wait, you
might
spent
get
2
that-
hours on the site without putting in your order, Nia?
I know I didn't have enough time. You guys kept me chatting.
I don't think you know
but
the
we were
level.
talking. You could have done it while we carried the show for you.
Oh, no, she will be full present part of it when she's ordering it. Believe me, the first thing I geeked out on with Nia was Brandon Sanderson. And like I don't even I've read one book. Like and it was like a very long conversation. I was like, oh, this is someone who definitely knows Sanderson. Like
Yes.
You need to vlog it and add it to your monthly wrap up for February.
Oh,
not a bad idea. It also ties into this episode, so you can point back to the episode and say, hey, you should watch this.
Yeah, but who
Yes.
knows when she's going to upload this part?
That's true.
Yeah.
that's true because we're already
Wait, what?
behind because of the Worldwide Radathon, which I
Oh,
think all of us are
true.
participating in.
Which
So
if you're in my
super
stream, I'll email you tomorrow. Sorry. Life's hard right
No,
now.
I thought I was going to be out of town, so I don't have any participation in it. But I will be there as a writer participant.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Let's
and
go
Barrett
ahead and
will-
close it out because I feel like I can. You guys know I can talk to you guys forever. We should just go on live sometimes just to talk. We could literally do that.
It could
Like
just
we're
How
just
long
here for
can
no
we talk
reason.
for?
We're just talking.
It's just
Yeah.
like Authortube chat, but I'm pretty sure that like Barrett, wasn't that your interview title for your show first?
I don't care.
No, it would have to be how long can we talk for the Kickstarter?
That I'm afraid of because like we've done those for long. Glory has done a 10-hour.
Yes.
one
Oh my
time.
gosh,
yeah.
yes.
Insane. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't have that. No.
Except for we'll have to end off the stream with a Kickstarter for your dog. Your dog.
For you getting a dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he'll have to get a dog if we've raised $20,000 for him.
But everyone stop saying Kickstarter. Use Ko-fi.
Me too.
Ding.
Yes.
Everyone on this screen has a Ko-fi page.
Yes.
We do.
And when this uploads, it will be linked. If you go back to the other Authortubers React on YouTube that we recorded earlier, everyone's linked. Ko-fi starter. I mean, you know.
Instant coffee instead of instant coffee.
Yes, Maggie was there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Authortube does need a mascot.
True.
Yeah.
True.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and do our outros so
Okay.
I can look at more houses.
I know you're going to say so you could go to bed. And I was
Yeah.
going to be like, I went to bed at like 3 a.m. and I ain't napped today, so I'd be happy to.
Yes.
You need sleep. We start early tomorrow.
You need to make a Pinterest
Oh my
board and then
gosh.
give it to someone else.
I know, Nia. I'm like, we start early tomorrow.
Yeah, they're both on my channel tomorrow, and they're both gonna dip early for house hunting purposes. But yeah,
Because we're both like, we're something
Zara's
offers.
stream is gonna turn into.
I
house
remember
hunting
and I
episode.
forget all at the same time.
I know. It's going to be like Survivor tomorrow morning. One of us is going to get sent
House
off the
Hunters
island first.
International. Authortube style. House Hunters International.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, I do love some house hunters.
Oh, me too.
Ooh. All
We're
right,
gonna go
let's
down
go
that
ahead and do
rabbit
our outros. We'll start with Zara, and we'll go clockwise around. You guys, I always have so much fun with you guys. Thank you.
I love these, but
Thank
we
you.
always get so chatty, and I'm like, I don't know why I put this in my calendar to end at 8:30. And
I know. I don't even
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Zara.
My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. I am writing many other stories, and production is much slower now that I have a 50-hour-a-week job as a literary agent assistant, which I love my job. My boss is super cool, so no complaints. I'm also the co-creator of the Writish podcast, and every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, I host writing sprints on my YouTube channel. Nia and Barrett are some of my guests for tomorrow. And sometimes we get as chatty as this, but I normally try to make sure we get in 3 of the 4 sprints that I promise. So yeah.
Yeah. And my name is Charliee. I have an Authortube channel where I post videos about journaling and writing, and I write YA fantasy, and I hope to traditionally publish. So that's me.
And really quick, Sarah, can you link Coffee Quill, please?
Coffee Quill.
I don't have my thing. I don't have my thing open, but Coffee Quill is.
Oh, so you're not gonna like actually do a raid? You want me to?
Right. If someone can post a link, and if you guys want to just keep hanging out on Twitch, head on over. We love Coffee Quills, but I don't have my Twitch open, so I'm like, I can't do the right. No, I don't have. Oh, that would be cool if.
I wish I was still vlogging this because
you can't do it through StreamYard. I've tried.
Oh yeah.
I wish.
You've been vlogging for 3 hours?
No, I wish I was because I just hit the button at the end and dropped my desk a foot. So I'm like leaned in the most weird direction ever right now, like sideways, like, hey everybody. So I'm gonna do mine because I can't stay in this position much longer.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm Barrett. Come over to my channel. We talk about my journey to traditional publishing. I'm on Zara's channel tomorrow morning for some sprints. Be sure and be there. It's going to be tons of fun. And then on Monday, JC Carpenter is my guest for a pre-recorded chat show episode. So be there for that. And that's me. Shannon, take it away. I'm going to get a chair.
I'm Shannon. You can come over to my YouTube channel, EST Houston. Right now, I'm not putting out a whole lot of different videos because I've been working at my parents' liquor store, but we have our next self-publishing tips and tricks video come out on Tuesday with our next author, AF Stewart, who has lots of great notes and ideas and thoughts for the publishing industry the self-publishing industry. She's been doing that for over a decade. And then I've also been doing writing sprints, which I started just about a month ago on Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Awesome. And I'm Nia the Vixen of Fiction. You are here on my channel. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. I host this fantastic show with these fabulous people, and I have fantastic guests like Shanon come join us all the time. And Shanon, you're more than welcome to join us again anytime. I also host Scripting the Book. We have a lot of fun talking about adaptations. And at the end of the month, I host a show that's for the community. And it's we try to do writing sprints, but it's mostly about building community and just checking in on each other, just because I like it and I like you guys, and I have such a good time in this community that I just want to get to know everybody and let everybody else get to know each other and follow each other and help each other on this journey. And so that is the monthly
Remember when
writer
you were
wrap
scared
up.
to come on my channel to stream?
Yes.
Barrett,
and
you're on mute.
go ahead, Barrett.
You've come a long way.
Tomorrow, Barrett and I will be with Zara. She has popped the link in the chat. And follow us on YouTube, Instagram, follow us in all the places. Everyone linked over on the YouTube video. Thank you guys so much. This has been
Follow
great.
people's Ko-fi pages so they actually have to post on there. You can follow them for free.
Everybody's Ko-fi is linked, including the Writers Podcast Ko-fi, where you can have till midnight tonight if you would like to sign the thing for, if you're not watching on the replay, if you're watching live, you have till midnight tonight to sign to add questions for Kate Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
This
guys.
was so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
I
yes.
always enjoy these. You guys
Me
are the
too.
best. Thank you guys so much. Go hang out with Coffee Cools if you're hanging out on Twitch. Bye.
Bye.